The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Here's a very juicy rumor. By the way, if you go check the list of things that I have been reporting and things that I've been saying are rumors, I wouldn't call it reporting, things that I've talked about that could happen in the National Basketball Association, like 95% of what I've been saying has pretty much come to fruition in the last couple weeks. So I'm just saying, maybe you need to rock with your boy a little more often, all right? I will not misguide you. We are talking Carmelo Anthony and his New York Knicks situation. So for those who don't know or just have been away from basketball for a couple weeks, maybe you've been on vacation, Phil Jackson is out as the VP. Brother was making $12 million a year to be the vice president and do absolutely nothing with the New York Knicks. He tried to run it into the ground, that organization, or finish what James Dolan started. And the Knicks cut him off beforehand. He will get paid, but they have agreed to part ways. So Phil's out. One thing that the Knicks were in disagreement with Phil Jackson about was the way he was handling Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis. Now, with that being said, the Knicks, without Phil Jackson, still want to move on from Carmelo Anthony. And in my heart of hearts, I believe that is the right thing. But if I were them, I would trade Carmelo Anthony. I definitely wouldn't just buy him out. First and foremost, your superstar Kristaps Porzingis loves Carmelo Anthony. That's a big thing. If Kristaps wanted to be the star of the team, all he had to do was tell the Knicks, hey, I want Carmelo out of here. They would have got Carmelo out of here. Kristaps is the future. You got to build around him. That's not the case. Kristaps actually really likes Melo, gets a lot of game and advice from Melo. He wants Melo around. So you definitely shouldn't buy him out. If you're going to trade, if you're going to let go Melo, you need to at least trade him. The thing is with Melo and his contract, and at this point in free agency, there's tough to find a trade that's compatible with Carmelo Anthony because he has a no trade clause. So not only do you have to find the salaries that match up, Melo has to sign off on a trade. And we're being told that as of tonight, Carmelo Anthony has now told the Knicks that at first he didn't want to be traded at all. And again, he has a no trade clause and 2 years left on his deal. He doesn't have to go anywhere. But we're being told now that Melo has opened that up a little bit, and he told the Knicks, look, if you could trade me to either one of my best friends, you could trade me either to the Houston Rockets with Chris Paul. That's one of my close friends, and he'll be playing with the Rockets with James Harden and company, and they will probably average like 130 points a game. Or you could trade me to one of my other close friends in LeBron James in Cleveland. If you can work those things out, I'll waive my no trade clause. So the Knicks are fighting with all type of stuff. They're trying to find a trade where they get enough talent back. They're trying to find a trade where they that appeases Carmelo Anthony, a team that appeases Carmelo Anthony. It's so much going on right now. It's tough for them. So many believe this will end in a buyout if they want to move on from Carmelo Anthony. And I think that is the right thing to do. You need to move on from him. You need to try your best to get some pieces. But it's tough to think that the Knicks are going to get value back for Carmelo Anthony, because what is Carmelo Anthony's value? I just watched Paul George, who's younger than Carmelo Anthony, can do more things on the basketball court at this point in their career than Carmelo Anthony. He just got traded for pretty much Victor Oladipo, right? So what do you really want in return for Carmelo Anthony? The Cavs have offered Kevin Love to the Knicks, but and this is right by the Knicks. They don't believe that Kristaps Porzingis and Kevin Love make sense. I agree with that. So what has happened is a 3-team trade has hit the horizon with the Atlanta Hawks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the New York Knicks. There's a chance this happens. Again, that third team was Denver. Denver wanted a power forward, but they ended up signing Paul Millsap, so they're out of the mix. The team that lost Paul Millsap is Atlanta. They have lost all their stars. They are completely in rebuild mode, and Atlanta needs to sell tickets. So reportedly, Atlanta has engaged in a 3-team trade with the New York Knicks, and pretty much this is how this will work. First and foremost, we all know Carmelo Anthony will end up on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he'll end up in Cleveland. They'll get rid of Kevin Love, and instead of Kevin Love going to the New York Knicks, which is pretty much not what the Knicks want right now. They want a full-blown rebuild. Instead of him going to the Knicks, he'll go to the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks will get what they need, maybe a couple young pieces, but more or less they'll try to probably get some protected picks from Atlanta. Atlanta has a couple picks going forward that they could probably want. Maybe you squeeze a player out. Maybe you bring Tim Hardaway back to New York. I don't know. There'll be a player available for the Knicks in this from Atlanta, but it won't be much, right? So that's what the Knicks want. They want to start over, but they want to be compensated with picks and just to get this rebuild process going, because that's what they're in right now. They're not going to sign Derrick Rose back. I heard he's meeting with Milwaukee today, and he's meeting with the Clippers as well. Derrick Rose is probably not going to come back to New York. You got a young point guard out of France. They're just starting over, man. And Melo's at the point in his career where he wants to win. I think he wants to win. So we'll see where his head is at. But this 3-team trade is something that has been talked about. I'm not saying it's likely. There's another trade on the table for the Knicks or as well. Houston is offering possibly Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon, Ryan Kelly. You know, that's pieces right there from Houston. So if that would be the offer that the Knicks would prefer, but there's two problems with that. First problem is I don't believe Houston will be willing to give up what makes them so good right now. You get rid of Trevor Ariza. Melo can't defend like Trevor Ariza can. Eric Gordon is your firepower off the bench. You already lost Lou Williams. And the second thing, dealing with Eric Gordon, I was told that he was one of the people that made the phone call to Chris Paul to get him into Houston. So you get rid of Eric Gordon, it's probably going to rub Chris Paul the wrong way. And remember, Chris Paul is only under this is the last year of his contract, so you don't want to rub his feathers the wrong way. It's already going to be enough trying to get it together with James Harden. So I doubt that trade happens. It looks like this Cavalier Atlanta trade is the one at the forefront right now. Remember, Denver had been involved trying to get a power forward like a Kevin Love. Now it's Atlanta because Denver got Paul Millsap in free agency. So this is a trade that's on the horizon. I'm not saying it's likely. This is what's being talked about right now, and Carmelo said he would waive his no-trade clause to play in Cleveland if this trade is possible. So what do you guys think? Melo, LeBron, and Kyrie Irving. Is this enough to get over the Golden State Warriors in the finals? I don't think so, but I think it's still enough to get past. And I think it'll make what they have to play in the Eastern Conference a little bit more tough. I think now this goes from, because right now I think the Cavs will beat Boston in 6 games, even with Gordon Hayward. Now I think it'll take 7 games. So I think they'll be better suited to play the Warriors in the finals, the Cavs will be. But I think it'll make their road to the finals much tougher because you lose a lot of size. And Kevin Love was just a deadly three-point shooter. But I do think in the end it'll be better to play the Warriors with Carmelo Anthony over Kevin Love. It's just matchups are better in the finals against Golden State with Carmelo. But getting to the finals, Kevin Love is better suited. So, it's tough. It's all about matchups in the NBA. And the Cavs have to do something because right now they know in their heart of hearts they can't beat the Warriors in the finals with the team they got with Kevin Love. He just can't stay on the court. And at the same time, they know they're too good and they're going to get to the finals every year with Kevin Love and Kyrie and LeBron. So it's kind of, you're stuck. What do you do? Got to make a move. And it looks like Carmelo Anthony is their last valuable option. Remember, I did a post the other day saying if they don't get Carmelo Anthony, there is no hope for LeBron James to ever beat the Golden State Warriors. Talk to me, comment box below about this trade. Thank y'all so much for the time and support. Rumor is Melo might be going to Cleveland and Kevin Love might be going to Atlanta, not New York. Talk to me. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com. Again, that's booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com.